Yeah, I have found myself back out here in the woods once again. We got just 3 cats here, kind of keeping me company. A small little family here, my lady, Mugsy, and Xerox. I should have brought out a little bit more food. I might just go ahead and wander up and bring out some more. But while I was on my way out here, uh, there's another guy that came up, and oh, yep, I am going to have to run up and get some cat food, as now we got Pup wandering up, and I have not seen Pup in a couple of days now. But anyways, they lost their cat, and so he gave me a description of the cat as well as the cat's name, and so I told him I would go ahead and keep my eyes open. We got Tiny that's coming up, so I am going to go ahead and end this recording so I can bring up some more food, and yeah, it looks like I need to bring up some water too. Kind of a early start on tonight's feeding. Hey Pup, I gotta go get some more food, okay buddy? I'll be back, alright? Alright? You gonna hang around? Okay, I'll be back. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab that real quick, and like I said, I'm going to hang out here for a little while. Just, yeah, get some so-called fresh air. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to wait patiently, keeping my fingers crossed, and as I do that, so we will resume at some given point thereafter. Well, resuming at 2:25 p.m. Just returned with water and some food, and not only did Pup come up, but we got a wolf that's made his appearance as well. These guys got used to eating 3 times a day, and I didn't quite put enough food out here this morning. And of course, my lady, I don't know why, but she's just got this thing about laying across the food. He's going to go ahead and get some water. And I know he's a little bit leery because of wolf being up here. But yeah, we kind of moved to a different location because, well, all this over here has been pretty well beaten down. And of course, so much cat crap that's around here, to where now I gotta actually take off my boots before I can travel up to my apartment. So I gotta take them off at the downstairs doorway. We do have a couple other cats that were up here, but I don't know, they'll probably wander back up at some given point, on which one of them is actually Wolf's little girlfriend. She attached herself to him, and it appears as though she's a big time priggo. And that's another reason why, I'm trying to not only wean them, but wean myself away, to get them back on their, I don't know, back to their feral selves, if you will. Because I don't need another year of stressing and worrying about kittens. And with my lady, as well as Greystoke, they, pretty much pawned their kittens off on me. Like, I'm not only the food bringer, but the caretaker or cat sitter. Pup is, yeah, he is patiently waiting for his turn. Pup, why don't you go ahead and eat out of the bowl, buddy? You can. I don't know why he's not choosing to do so. But I think I'm going to try to plop a squat. Yeah, Wolf is going to wander off now. Probably rejoin with Bullseye. Yep. And well, I don't know. Maybe he might want a little bit of attention from me. I think I'll find out. Oh yeah? You think so, buddy? Huh? Yeah? Well, come here. Oh, you want to come say hi? Yeah. You want a little... Well, come on. You can have some attention. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. It's been a minute since we've seen each other, right? Huh? Huh? Yeah. Alright, good. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that Pop has found a spot to eat. They keep moving from location to location. It's all the same stuff, but they think it's special. Well, yeah, I guess he's just wanting to enjoy the day today, getting out wandering around. So, well, we had a minute together. Not sure who this is back here. Are you coming up? Yeah, and I apologize for my earlier recording of the squirrel. As once again, my targeting has not been the greatest when it comes to recording stuff at a distance. And yeah, right now we are basically under those so-called clear blue skies. You coming up? Go ahead. But yeah, I figured I'll go ahead and keep my eyes open for this guy's cat. You know, I always try to do what I can for others. Just part of my nature. I'll be glad when it does start getting a little bit warmer and a little bit drier out here to where I can get back to grounding myself. In other words, connecting with nature. And there we go. We got us an aircraft. Once again, might be a failed attempt in order to try to record it, but they are flying about. And you know, typically when I'm yeah, that was in a location a little bit different, distant from me, so. And I can hear the sounds of a jet aircraft overhead as well. You know, all the typical things that I often report. I can hear something else. Oh, okay. Looks like a sandhill crane way up here. Flying, yeah. I believe that's what that was. That's yet another sign of spring. I was flying far off in the distance back there. I could hear it but couldn't really see it because they can be quite the high flyers. So yeah, if the sandhill cranes are flying around, this could actually be our last blast of winter that will be coming in, but that's once again hard telling because after all, this is still February. And okay, which one are you? You PJ? Huh? Or Tux? I would have to see the tail, but then back here on this wood pile is, well, that cat just kind of snuck behind, I believe. Oh, there she is, or he. I believe that's sibling to Bullseye. Oh, maybe, yeah. I think that's the one that I decided to call Target, which was originally the name for Bullseye, but I decided to go with Bullseye rather than Target. And she's back here, or he, wandering through back here. You know, I do enjoy being an observationist of all things. Most all things, let's say. Yeah, that is PJ. I can tell because of the white ring at the end of the tail. You can see right here. And that is the sibling to Tux, which they look quite similar, and I used to have issues telling them apart until I realized once again that identification marker of the white ring on his tail. And yeah, little old Xerox is doing much better, and you can see here loving up on that cat like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, it is that springtime thing, right? What you think, Pop? Huh? Did you get enough to eat? Keeps checking me out. Probably debating on whether to take off or not. I don't know. And this is a cat that I've only been able to reach out and stroke his back on one, maybe 2 occasions. You taking off, Pup? Huh? You want to come up? You can always come up to me. You know that, right? All right, buddy? Huh? Well, check that out. See, even these cats that, you know, I don't really get a chance to really bond with, they still come up and just basically want to hang out with me, you know? I guess I'm Pup's a good guy, aren't you? Yeah. And then we got yet another one back here, and this is the one that I believe, oh, where you at? Yeah, right here. This one, yeah, she's still got a snotty nose. This is the one that brought in the sickness a few weeks ago that afflicted other cats and ended up taking the life of let's see, yeah, once again, I'm tired, having some problems with the names, especially of those departed now. But yeah, but you know, this is nice. We're kind of going back to the old days of where I just come out here, hang out, and these guys just want to kind of corral around me, and whether it's a type of feeling of protection, or maybe it's just, you know, that inner form of, or inherited domestication qualities, if you will. And Pup, he's always kind of desired to come up and get close with me, but just never really has. And of course, you know, soaking up the shine out here. And yeah, you know, if I wander about, it's going to also entice the young ones to explore a little bit more, and which they actually need to do. to familiarize themselves with the surroundings out here more so than they ever have. And so I'm just kind of encouraging that just a little bit more. And you know, this is like old times, because even though, you know, Pup won't get real close to me or, you know, create a tight bond with me, we've had many of occasions, as I've shown throughout the history of my channel, of how he does exactly what he's doing now. He stays a distance away from me, but hangs out, which is cool. Right, buddy? Yeah, I don't know if I can actually capture this or not. More signs that spring is either here or right around the corner. And we have spider webs that's strung about back here from tree to tree. Once again, I don't know if I'm, you know, able to pick any of that up, as it is actually shimmering within the sunlight. But while I was out and about with my past neighbor, I hope you watched that video, to where it's trails and trails traveled. That on that day, and I did not record it, but the driveway to his pole barn, there was actually a very large fly that was crawling about on the ground, like a house fly or something like that. More observations, yeah. And of course, they don't like when I'm recording. In fact, I'm starting to notice that with many of the creatures encountered out here. They do not like this black box in front of my face. And then furthermore, okay, so she's gotten this much, or he, whatever, has gotten that much closer. And this is Snot Nose. I think I'm going to go ahead and go the cat, Snot Nose. Yeah, you're still kind of snotty, aren't you? Huh? Still carrying a little bit of that illness, I do believe. So once again, you know, this weather will help immensely with these cats. You can take it off, Pup. Have you gotten bored with me now? Sharpening the claws. And you know, even though we have had the passing of the one cat, and I'm so tired I cannot remember his name, but I'm just thankful that, you know, from what I've seen, a great majority of the cats have survived this rather harsh winter. And of course, we got the little ones that, now that I'm, you know, quite a ways away from the shelter and feeding area, they're kind of wandering out and about. And again, not sure about what my lady is one, not, yeah, I think she's once again. Oh, let's see. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, okay. I thought she was laying on some food, but no. And this is a burial site of said cat that passed away. Again, I cannot think of the name. And we got my little buddy here, Tiny. Decided to come on up. I've moved locations. Sitting on a kind of a rather wet log here. But he decided to come up and hang out and started doing crunching and munching. And of course, I come out here and I provide food and water and figure on hanging out for a little bit while I'm out here. And did I bring anything for myself to drink as I'm doing all this talking? Nope. I try to be prepared for all case scenarios, that come about. Still hearing small engine aircraft roaming about someplace, but off in the distance. And you know what? Just for sake of giggles, yeah, there's our little anomaly to the sun right there at the 10 or 11 o'clock position. Just thought I'd toss that in the mix. Okay, so this cat here that's wandering away from me, believe it or not, for lack of better words, is a watcher. All right, and I caught it sitting outside my apartment window amongst the trees, watching me as, well, basically I was looking out the window yesterday, and I don't think it's Screamer, but it is very similar to the cat that I call Screamer, a fluffy black cat, if you will. And now we have Tux, that is, come up. How many cats is that now that I have named or mentioned? Well, I think I'm going to do as stated. I'm going to go on up, grab me something to drink, possibly bring it on down here and hang out a little bit more. And whether I record anymore or not, well, that's debatable right now. But I am going to end this recording. I've got one before this that's still yet to be posted. And I don't know when I'll be getting to that at this given hour. So, yeah, if I record more, well, besides me, you'll be first to know. So, on that note, this is Skywise out for now. Thank you for watching.